Why is there a fork in my nest box? Welcome back to the channel. And yes, a very big welcome to the channel, or indeed welcome back to the channel if you're an avid watcher. Here we talk everything nature, but mainly blue tits, and we're back with our favourite family of blue tits, Biddy and Miley, and they're now 4 chicks. Yes, an extra chick has hatched. I didn't see the egg shells or anything, it just seemed to happen over the night. So there are 4 chicks in this nest now. And this is back on the 8th of May, and I'm only doing one day in this video. As you probably saw at the start of the video and by the thumbnail, it's a pretty interesting video. Something very sad and potentially tragic happened. So we have come across human hair causing issues in previous years. We know Biddy and Miley lost a nest due to Biddy getting trapped in the nest. I think that was 2 years ago. And now, sadly, a chick has swallowed a really long piece of hair. And now that piece of hair that's in that chick is now attached to Biddy's foot. And just watch. And yes, we saw one of our chicks get dragged out of the nest. I'm just showing it again for you if you missed it. You can see the chick there and straight out of the nest. And Miley straight away is in the nest with a bit of food for the remaining 3 chicks, none the wiser what tragedy has just unfolded, and that one of the chicks has just been dragged out of the nest. So that happened at 20 past 3. Now, back on the 8th of May, I'm actually on my way home from Galway at the moment, back from college, and I am none the wiser that this has just happened. But eventually I look back on the live chat when this nest was being live streamed, and I see that someone suggested that, or asked the question, did one of those chicks just get dragged out of the nest? So of course I went back and looked at the footage and eventually found that footage that I've shown you there a few times now. So what does that mean for the chick? Well, generally, if this was a natural nest site or not being watched by a camera, that chick is as good as dead, if I'm perfectly honest. I've seen female blue tits not feed chicks that are just out of the nest cup, let alone out of the nest. They can't pick it up, it's not built in them to know to do that. So when Biddy came back, there was no chick on her leg, obviously, so the chick was dropped somewhere. And it was around this time, 4:45 or so, when I actually started rooting around the garden below the nest box, trying my best, treading carefully, I may add, to not step on anything that I would hugely regret stepping on. And eventually I found this. About a metre in front of the nest box, a small little chick. Now, I mentioned it was a warm day today, and this little guy was hanging on. Because it was quite warm outside, as I mentioned, it was keeping him energized, I suppose. They do well when they're warm. He was in a shaded spot, but as I said, it was a warm day. And I actually thought this guy was very, very cute. I got a nice few videos of him to show you here as well. And so what I did was, I ended up feeding him 3 or 4 times, little caterpillars and critters that I found around the garden, invertebrates and such. While I was waiting for Biddy and Miley to leave the nest, I needed both of the adult birds gone. That was so I could slip in and put this little chick back in the nest cup where it belongs. And I also cut the hair that was coming out of its mouth. I cut it really short. I couldn't pull it out, as I really felt like it would actually have killed the chick if I had pulled that bit of hair too harshly. And so I cut the hair really short so it could work through its system naturally. And so I have a ladder now sitting under the nest cup, and there was a bit of a waiting game so both adult birds wouldn't be in the nest. As Biddy, at this stage in the chick's development, really stays in the nest a good 90% of the time and does sometimes leave for food. and Miley comes and goes, but sometimes Biddy would leave as Miley was arriving in to go get some food for herself and bring some back for the chicks as well. And so the waiting game continued until 8 minutes past 5, Miley arrived in. You can see Biddy was asking for the food there, maybe she was hungry herself. And now I was just waiting for Miley to leave. 3 really healthy chicks in there, loads of movement. They're doing really well this year. And now I am racing out the garden and keeping an eye on Miley as he flies away over the far trees. And so now I've placed this little chick on a fork, the only utensil I could find that would fit into the hole. And well, I'll just show you guys how it played out. And so I can't actually see the nest cup from my angle, so I'm actually guessing where this little chick is meant to be. And you can see the remnants of something small that I left on my hand as well. And there we have it, the little chick that made its way home, back to its brothers and sisters. But it wasn't over just yet. Was this chick going to be accepted back into the nest? I wasn't fully sure. I was assuming it would be, and I was waiting anxiously to see this chick being fed, or at least be accepted as one of the brood again. And sure enough, you will see the parent bird here just cleaning the back end of the chick as it takes away that little present that I mentioned got on my hand. So that little chick has been successfully put back into the nest, and that is a successful rescue mission. And I want to say a big thank you to whoever mentioned it in the live chat, as I wouldn't have spotted that unless I saw the message. So you actually inadvertently saved that chick, so thank you very much for that. It's nice to be able to tell a happy story for once. You can see Biddy and Miley have had their tragic years. You only have to look at last year's playlists to know that. And we see the 4 chicks there gaping for food when the dog barked in the garden. So they're 4 lively chicks. They're very happy by the looks of things. When chicks are gaping like that, they're energized, they've the energy to feed, and look at that. Well, if that doesn't warm your heart and gets you to subscribe, well, as I say, I don't know what will. So, didn't I tell you it was going to be an interesting video to say the least, but I have to say I'm very happy how it played out, thankfully. We'll look at it one more time here, just both videos side by side. Little chick gets taken out, unfortunately. Parent birds are none the wiser. They don't seem to engage with that sort of stuff. I don't think they really know what's going on. And then nearly just under 2 hours later, that little chick, off on its adventures, makes its way back into the nest, thankfully. I just thought you'd appreciate it watching it one more time. It's very unique footage. It's pretty funny to look at, seeing the chick come in on the fork there. I can't help but have a wee giggle every time I see it, I'm not gonna lie. The word chicken nugget for some reason comes to mind. I don't know about you. And so finally, how did the rest of the day play out? Well, thankfully, it went without a hitch. Biddy and Miley continue to bring loads of food in. The chicks seem to be going from strength to strength, all 4 of them gaping. And it actually turns out that there are only going to be 4 chicks this year so far. None of the eggs actually hatch. There are other eggs there, but they do not hatch. So we have 4 chicks to work with. Will they all fledge this year? Will they all continue to survive, and will the chick we rescued survive till the end? Well, all that will be answered in due time and upcoming videos. I want to say a big thank you if you stuck with me to the end, and we will see you in the next video. So So thanks a million for dropping by. Please subscribe if you feel like it. And bye bye.